One of the coolest cars here at the Ford booth at the Detroit Auto Show has got to be this, the 2020 Shelby GT 500. I mean, just look at this car. It's oozing menace. So let's take a quick walk around and see what this car is all about. First of all, I think the front of the GT500 is so much more different than the standard Mustang. Of course, you need to have the Cobra logo right in the middle, but immediately you notice these vertical slats on the sides of the bumper, which are very new. I think they look really great. Kind of seems a lot more aerodynamic as well, to channel the air from the front over the top of the car. But there's a lot more side skirts, a lower diffuser. The bumper also has a lot more extensions to bring the car a lot lower to the ground. Headlights are also fit in really well with this redesigned bumper. Of course, huge air dams in the front to feed all that air to that hungry supercharger. And of course, go faster stripes along the top of the hood. Speaking of the hood, there's these really cool shark gill type vents right at the top of the hood, right where the power dome is. And let's go take a look at the side of the car. The car is so low and swooping. And look at these 20-inch carbon fiber wheels as well, or at least on the front there's the facade, and huge Brembo upgraded brakes. Further down the side, more Cobra badging, a large side skirt to kind of channel the air around the edges of the car to make it more slippery and streamlined, a glossy black rear view mirror to add that more menace. And of course, as we make our way to the back, a huge carbon fiber rear wing to add that extra downforce, because this car needs it. Over 700 horsepower going through the rear wheels. Just imagine. The tires have to be really, really capable. They're Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, but the spoiler definitely helps improve that. At the back of the car, of course, the rear wing is the most prominent feature, but as we go further down, huge quad tailpipes which sound glorious. I'll show you guys in a second. The side skirts kind of wrap around and become an integral part of the rear diffuser as well. And of course, gotta love that Cobra. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We always post sneak peek pictures and videos, some special content, even special episodes that you can watch all for free, of course. And you can be the first before these videos even go online. And of course, we always post like these, for example, these stories. And you can tell us what you think, you can tell us what you want to see before we even get to the show and before we even start filming, and we can cater to your questions. So it's a great way to communicate with us, keep in touch, and see some more extra content. I'm back here with Carl. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Last year you were telling me about the Ford Mustang Bullitt, and this year, what do you have for me?
This is the 2020 GT500 Shelby, available this fall. So what it is it's a supercharged 5.2 liter with over 700 horsepower. So it's basically a revised block to take the extra pressure, longer cylinder head bolts, totally new valve seats, valve train, still a CNC machined head, and we got an Eaton 2.65 liter supercharger. Low mounted in the block to give us the lowest CG, and then quick response time into the intake manifold. That is mated up with a dual clutch transmission, a DCT. So why we do that, we know from the Ford GT that if we want to be fast on the track but carry a lot of torque through that shift, a DCT is a great application. Some people kind of refer to them as two manual transmissions shoved together, right? So from that perspective, the DCT offers the ability to take the full torque to the wheels, so we can get under 11 seconds in a quarter mile. And that also gives us the ability to take the transmission calibration and integrate it with our drive modes that we have on Mustang. So it's still, this is a 12-inch cluster, digital. So we take the digital dash and all that interface that you get, and then we combine that with the transmission calibrations, the engine, brake controls, ABS. So you can set track mode, drag strip mode, sport, normal, whatever, and that line lock. So the DCT can change its character through that, just like the MagneRide can. So, and we have to run through a carbon fiber drive shaft, we have bigger half shafts, and that takes the power to the ground. So what have we done to actually use that power, right? So we're going faster, so it means we got to stop harder. So we've increased to 20-inch wheels and tires. That gives us the ability to take the front rotor up to a 420 millimeter front rotor, the biggest rotor of any coupe. And that gives us all the stopping performance with those 6-piston fixed Brembo calipers we have. And that's the stopping. So you're going faster, we got to stop harder. And then the chassis, we had to tweak the suspension geometry to get the 20-inch wheels and tires to fit. And it's all retuned with MagneRide to give us that, that capability MagneRide has with, changing the damping 1,000 times per second. So it can make a car feel very nimble as it goes into a corner to give you that quick reaction time to stiffen it up and out of the corner. So the tires are totally unique to this car, right? We have PS4S on the base car, and then the exposed carbon fiber track package. We have Cup 2s, just to give the customer a different choice of how they want to use their car.
So in terms of, first of all, what's 0 to 60?
We're mid 3 seconds.
Wow, impressive. And apart from, of course, the drivetrain and the performance enhancements, what about things like weight reduction? Is this car, is it supposed to be, more stripped out and raw, or is it still quite comfortable on the inside? What are you going for?
Yeah, so this will be in the showroom at the same time as the 350. So we think of the 350 with its flat plane crank. Right. It's kind of that raw, stripped down track weapon, right? This car is a little bit more refined, mainly because we want to make sure we can take all that power and put it to the ground. So in essence, that comes account a little bit more smoothness in the shifting, again with an automatic transmission versus a manual. So this car really revolves around a lot of power in that respect to have that power to the ground, right? And so that the impression you really get when you get behind the wheel of a 500 is really, it's not effortless progression, it's like the extreme power you get from the supercharged DCT. It's just extraordinary.
Fantastic. And so fall of this year, any idea ballpark how much it's going to cost?
Nope, we haven't announced pricing or final horsepower. We got a little bit of time to figure all that out. As soon as we get feedback from the show, see what people think.
Fantastic. Carl, pleasure again. See you next year.
Will do. Thanks.
Now with the Shelby GT500, Ford has a car that can compete with these hyper-muscle cars from the likes of Dodge. How much the price for this Shelby GT500 is going to be, we'll have to wait a little bit longer to find out. And of course the actual official horsepower figures, that's still not yet released. But I mean, 700 is more than enough. So what do you guys think? Is this the Mustang of your dreams? Surely is mine.